Hi, I just took a test about attachment style. Do you guys know about attachment style? So you guys must familiar already with love language. Tahu kan love language? Nah, itu kan ada 5 ya love language itu ada kayak bukan physical attachment, physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, act of service, and quality time. And then I just found di TikTok, aku lagi scrolling di FYP aku dan lewat video yang menyatakan bahwa sebenarnya kalian coba deh tes yang namanya attachment style. Itu tuh more accurate than love language katanya. Yeah, so I just took a test of attachment style before I took test on the internet because I don't know where should I take the test. Maksudnya aku nggak pergi ke psikolog untuk tesnya, aku coba dulu tes di internet. Sebelum aku tes, aku tahu bahwa attachment style itu literally ada tiga kalau nggak salah, dari yang aku lupa. Ada secure attachment, and then anxious attachment, dan yang terakhir ini ada fearful avoidant, yeah. And then I took a test on the luar negeri ya, di platform luar negeri. And then guess what? I got fearful attachment. Aku nggak langsung percaya gitu aja, aku coba tes lagi di website yang berbeda, itu 1%. Then aku dapet fearful avoidant lagi. It's kind of a shock because it is a really negative attachment and it took really times and effort to heal that kind of attachment style. Yeah, so kita sangat pelajari sama-sama, siapa tahu ternyata teman-teman juga ada yang punya attachment style yang kayak gitu yang sama kayak aku. Jadi kita akan sama-sama mencari tahu kira-kira seperti apa sih penjelasannya. BTW ini aku akan ambil search dari TikTok karena TikTok itu kan pendek-pendek ya, short video, jadi it's really convenient I think. Betul, setelah nonton video ini, kalau misalnya kalian tiba-tiba pengen tes attachment style, silakan tes, tapi kalau bisa silakan konfirmasi lagi ke terapis, psikolog, atau psikiater mungkin, dan kira-kira tanya kira-kira ini benar nggak kayak gini, dan what can I do to heal that kind of attachment style if you happen to have a negative one, not a secure one. BTW, aku rencananya mau nge-tag ini tuh maghrib, cuman kayaknya kalau maghrib tuh kan bakal kayak kelamaan gitu sih. And I want to record myself do some kind of raw emotion, so this will, ya jadi ini tuh nggak berdasarkan skrip. Aku akan berusaha react secara langsung terhadap semua video yang itu, dan maybe di video ini teman-teman akan banyak sekali menemukan aku menggunakan bahasa Inggris, tiba-tiba switch ke English, tiba-tiba switch lagi ke Indonesia. Yeah, it's pretty understandable karena sometimes aku merasa I'm more comfortable to talk with English when it's talking about my feelings. I don't know why, but some people also like this, so I'm not the only one. And I will try my best to give as a title. So yeah, okay, first thing first, this is Mel. Aku akan coba cari pakai laptop karena aku belum beli laptop stand, jadi aku pakai kardus. Aku berencana beli laptop stand di 3 giga sih biar dapat gratis ongkir. Oke, kita cari ya di TikTok. What is that? Oh, disorganized. Attachment style, and I will react it with based on my experience.
As someone that grew up with a disorganized attachment and is moving towards a more secure attachment, this has been the most helpful in my healing journey. Hey, my name is Alina and I cover relatable relationship and mental health struggles. We talk about it here and make light of it. As someone who has had an abandonment wound along with a I don't trust anyone wound, I would often choose men that had little interest in their own emotions, much less mine. I was addicted to the intensity of the relationship.
Okay, I don't know about this because I've never in a relationship before. Alhamdulillah, yeah. I have some crush, but I'm never in a relationship before, so I really don't know about this one.
With this underlying hope that I can win them over, to feel worthy, but they would inevitably not choose me and subtly discard me. My internal monologue started singing the exact same tune. I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, I'm not interesting, I don't deserve to be a priority. We lack that support system as children. We tend to now go through life trying to find anyone that can fulfill that need. Needless to say, just like they were neglecting me, I was neglecting myself. As someone that grew up...
Ada video bahasa Indonesia.
Ada masanya dimana ketika kita tuh pengen spending time sama pasangan kita, tapi dia lagi capek dan gak bisa spending time sama kita. Buat orang-orang dengan secure attachment style, ya gak apa-apa, emang lagi capek aja, take it easy. Tapi ada orang-orang yang memang punya fearful disorganized attachment style, dia akan menerjemahkan ketidaksanggupan pasangannya untuk spending time bareng dia itu sebagai tanda dia tidak disayang, tidak cukup dicintai. Padahal emang pasangannya lagi capek aja, murni bener-bener karena itu.
Is it true? untuk kalian yang sudah punya pasangan dan kayak punya disorganized attachment style, I want to ask, is it true? I've never been in a relationship before, so I really don't know.
Di sisi lain, buat orang-orang yang fearful disorganized juga attachment style-nya, ketika pasangannya tuh memang benar-benar sayang sama dia, tapi dia punya rasa takut untuk intimacy, takut untuk deket, dan itu munculnya kadang dia nggak bisa kendalikan dengan trigger-trigger tertentu yang ada, membuat dia akhirnya memilih menjauh, bahkan mengakhiri hubungan itu. Padahal emang pasangannya tuh benar-benar sayang dan peduli sama dia, tapi kan ada rasa takut yang disebabkan oleh attachment style ini tadi, itu membuat dia akhirnya memilih untuk melepas hubungan itu. Padahal deep down in his or her heart, dia pengen punya intimacy dan kedekatan itu, tapi karena attachment style ini tadi yang membuat akhirnya muncul rasa-rasa takut itu. Nah, buat siapapun yang mengalami ini, entah kamu atau pasanganmu, please jangan buru-buru menghakimi atau buru-buru membuat masalah yang ini menjadi besar, karena itu sebenarnya adalah gejala-gejala kecil yang muncul sebagai tanda. Tapi please cari tahu, baca yang banyak, educate yourself, supaya dalam komunikasi jadi lebih baik dan hubungan itu sendiri bisa diselamatkan.
For anyone who's interested, I am an ex-fearful avoidant / disorganized attachment style, now secure. And what this means is I was very chaotic in my relationship. So when I was married to a very secure, a very good, a very safe man, I blew up my marriage.
Why?
I was addicted to chaos, essentially. Safety didn't feel safe to me. So I was constantly on the lookout for something more dramatic, something more passionate, something that could fill the void. And in the end, ended up losing my best friend through that. This is why I became an attachment expert. This is why attachment theory is so very important to me. Because if I'd have carried on in that pattern, I would have just been in destructive relationship after destructive relationship, and I wouldn't have had anybody else but myself to blame. I wanted nothing more but to get my marriage back, but by the time I'd worked out what had happened and what was going on, understandably, my ex-husband wanted nothing more to do with me. So I mean it, guys, like I really learned the hard way. Learning about your attachment and healing those attachment wounds is the best thing I've ever done.
Alright guys, so I want to tell you something. Actually, I am in a condition of I therapy myself because I have this fear of letting my raw feeling seen, because I hate to be seen as vulnerable in front of other people, so that means it's really hard for me to speak my feelings for other people out there. And actually that is the sign of disorganized fearful attachment. That's one of the signs. So one of the reasons why I record this without script is that I want to tell you, I want to challenge myself to let other people know how I feel. So yeah, if I'm crying, then you will see me cry. One of the reasons why I suddenly start to search for attachment style is because I realized that if I'm going to have a relationship, a serious relationship in marriage with other people, I actually in the age of, yeah, people say that, oh, you should get married, something like that. Until now, I have zero preparation. Not really zero, but yeah, like not much. So I start to prepare myself, and one of the thing is actually when you want to be in a serious relationship, in a commitment relationship, in marriage, you really need to heal yourself first, because that way you can really love your partner passionately. One of the things that I realized is never marry someone because you want other people to heal your one. It will burden the relationship and it will burden them. So instead of relying to your partner to heal yourself, for example, if you have low self-esteem and you don't feel like you are a lovable person, then you want to be in a serious commitment relationship because you think that being loved by your partner will help you through the healing. Yes, that's true, but pending at 100% to your partner is not really good. Instead, before you are committing to something serious, because marriage is not about yourself, it's about you and other people. And then if you have children, then it's about you, other people, and other people also. So you really need to heal yourself first. And that's why I start to learn about disorganized, fearful, avoidant attachment style, and I want to heal from that before I really meet the one and commit into any serious relationship. So that's why I learned about it today. Aku lihat selimutan. Kita cari video yang lainnya ya.
We've talked about anxious and avoidant. Now let's talk about disorganized attachment. Disorganized or fearful attachment is actually a mix of both avoidant and anxious kind of combined into one. Typically, this comes from childhood trauma, whether that's abuse, sexual abuse, physical, any kind of traumas.
Wait, come on.
At the end of the day, the caregiver was not able to give the child the love and affection that it needed, thus creating an anxiety and a need to constantly have that validation. At the same time, the child also fears the caregiver. Oftentimes, disorganized attachment or fearful attachment come from an abusive parent because while they were trying to get closer to that parent as the caregiver to get the love and attention, they were also fearful of them because they didn't know what to expect, and oftentimes that parent inflicted pain on the child. Thus, that's how you kind of get a mix between the avoidant and the anxious coming together as a disorganized attachment. Being in a relationship with someone with disorganized attachment looks like a bit of a dichotomy. On one hand, they want the closeness, they want the affection, they want to come closer. But on the other one, they don't trust and they have a hard time letting people in because they are fearful that once they let them in, they're going to get hurt.
I think a lot of people nowadays have this experience.
Mostly because that's what happened with their caregiver. They would go to them for the love and attention, but then the caregiver would inflict pain.
There's a really funny comment they say. So it's not just because I'm a Scorpio, like okay. So it's not just because I'm a Capricorn.
On them or hurt, thus they stop trusting. People with disorganized attachment are waiting to get hurt. They are there almost expecting to be disappointed, let down, and that is also why they really struggle to trust anybody or let anybody in their inner circle. And like most of the attachment styles, disorganized attachment struggles to trust their partner. Thus, it ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't believe anybody is actually going to show up for them, so they start acting in different ways, pushing people away and saying, see, I told you it wasn't safe, and then they close back up. So it really is a mix. Whereas when you're anxious, you go closer, 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 and you can't stop wanting somebody to give you that attention, that validation. It almost feels like it's never ending. Whereas avoidant can't handle that and they pull away because it's way too much. They don't know how to process emotions and feel. So the disorganized attachment is right in the middle. As though they want the love and attention and they want to come closer to you, they don't trust it and they pull away. Thus making a relationship with a disorganized attachment a struggle because as much as they want to let you in, they are scared and they literally cannot. At the end of the day, how are you going to heal these attachment theories and attachment styles and all of that? Therapy. You have got to get down to the root issues and reparent the inner child so that you stop responding from the 5 or 10-year-old. And I get this a lot too of like, I didn't have any childhood traumas. Why do I still feel this way? You are still responding. Even if you have the best parents in the world, shit still happens and you are still responding from that 5, 10, whatever age kind of where you are stuck.
I am wondering just how old I was when I had this trauma. I mean, at the beginning, this person, Sabrina Zohar said that this organized attachment style is caused by past trauma, like abusive parents, sexual harassment, physical or emotional trauma. And I want to clarify something. So my parents was not abusive. No, they were literally provide me with normal children needs. Like they give me the house, they give me the room for I sleep, they give me the food, they give me the clothes, they gave me the toy. Yeah, I literally got a lot of dolls. They were not physically abusive, but I think I was faced with emotionally neglected. Because I feel like my parents was not there when I grow up. I literally cannot remember about my memories with them when I was a child. Like from I was in elementary school and middle school, I feel like I cannot remember a single memory with them in it. I remember once, but it was so fearful. A memories that got me pain, something sad or something like that. But I think I don't blame them. I believe that I already forgive my parents for their behavior. I don't really blame them because they were coming from broken houses. They lost their parents at such a young age and they don't really learn about parenting, so they just use their parents' parenting style. They apply it to their future children, which means me and my sisters. So yeah, I don't really blame them. But I'm really glad because my mom, at this past 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years lately, she's been kind of interested in parenting, so she started looking for parenting videos on the internet, on YouTube, from some ustads. Yeah, she learns about that and start to questioning her parenting style, and that was when she finally talking to me. Like we're literally starting to have a deep conversations. And my dad, I don't know, he watched it on secret or maybe he didn't watch at all, but I got a really big talk with them. There was me, my parents, and my little sister, my first little sister. We kind of have a talk. I told them about my feelings as a child, that I felt emotionally neglected by them, and I told them because I already grow up, I did it recently on 2022. At that time I was 22 years old, and the first younger sister was 15 years old. So she's starting to grow up, and I don't want her to grow up alone. Like I don't really know how to handle things, how to face problems when I start to grow up as a teen, and then I have a transition to adult, and I don't know, I totally grow up alone. Like no guidance from my parents, and I don't want that to happen to my sisters. So I talk with them, like children sexually really need parents' role when they grow up, and I don't want them to feel alone, because you guys made me feel alone. So please, if you cannot be there for me, at least don't disappear at my sister's life. I had that kind of talk with my parents, and I hope that whatever happens next will be a better life for my sisters. So yeah, the thing is, I think I already forgive my parents, and I just need to heal this trauma. because I start something serious. I think I really need to heal myself, all of the past trauma, all of the inner child I have. And so you guys also really need to heal that. Okay, we're gonna learn some more about the disorganized attachment. Sebenarnya ada tipe-tipe lain, kayak kalau misalnya teman-teman pengen aku bahas si 3 attachment style lainnya, boleh tulis di kolom komentar ya, nanti aku akan coba bikin kontennya. Okay, let's search for the next one. Oh, there are some tips for a fearful avoidant. Okay, let's try it.
Alright, so with disorganized attachment, another name, you guys, for disorganized attachment is fearful avoidant attachment. That's usually the term that I use. I want you to know that although it may feel very hopeless for you in relationships, because the pattern with disorganized attachments is relationships are kind of roller coasters, lots of ups and downs, very painful, can be very toxic. But you can change. That can change. I'm a recovering fearful avoidant. I consider myself to be mostly secure now, with definitely some fearful avoidant tendencies. However, now I just know how to manage those tendencies, right? I've learned secure, healthier ways of dealing with my triggers, of healing my triggers, right? Because it's this ongoing process. Of knowing who is compatible for me and who isn't, right? So depending on your attachment style, you're going to have people that are compatible with you, that they are able to meet your needs, hold space for you, right? Have patience with you, because healing is a process. It takes time. So we need to have very supportive people in our lives. And really knowing how to honor your needs. That's most important. So it's really about understanding on a very deep level what your attachment style is, the different traits, needs, characteristics of your attachment style, and then learning secure ways of dealing with life's challenges, dealing with things that come up, because that is inevitable. Even if you are the most secure person in the world, you're still going to have challenges in your life and in your relationships. It's just how you deal with it. It's how you cope with it. It's how you manage it.
Okay. I suddenly remember about the previous video we said, like, disorganized attachment made you feel like secure make you feel anxious. Like, why is it so secure? I want drama in my life, and I somehow can relate to that. Like I really love watching drama with a lot of complicated problems that made you hurt a lot, then you cry yourself to sleep. I really like those kind of things, and then I start to question myself, why did I like that? And when things in my life start to fall nicely into pieces, I don't believe that kok tenang-tenang aja. I want drama in my life. That's actually bad. I think you guys also need to evaluate yourself, like, let's move to another video, and maybe this is the last video.
To my disorganized people, the type of people that get really anxious when they're getting avoided and get really avoidant when they feel attacked. I know you feel impulsive because you're not sure how you're feeling. I know you want intimacy, but you put up a lot of barriers so that you don't get hurt. This is rooted from external and internal conflicts. The feelings of mistrust, fear of communicating your needs, or you're afraid that they're gonna walk away. So you have some self-destructive behaviors. You say things that you don't even mean. You do things to pull yourself away emotionally, such as hook up with someone else, delete them off social media, delete their photos, ignore their text messages. But as soon as you feel like that's what they're doing to you, it's the complete opposite. You want answers, you want their attention, you don't want them to leave.
I don't know how I feel about this because I literally never been in a relationship before, but I'm afraid that that's what I will do if I didn't heal. So yeah, actually let's try about how to heal disorganized attachment style.
Here are some things to focus on to start to heal from disorganized attachment style. Understand your deepest triggers and circumstances that cause you to feel abandoned. How does your body feel when you feel like you're about to be rejected or abandoned? How do you react when you feel this trigger? Learn how to self-soothe. What are some activities or things that you do that help you feel calm or relaxed or feel better about yourself? Things that you do that help you regulate your emotions. A third suggestion is identifying your need. Whenever we complain, we're essentially expressing a need. What do you need from that other person? What can they say or do that would help you feel better in the moment? And once you've identified your need, communicate that with your partner. Let them know. Now, you want to be discerning about who you express your needs to. You want someone who will actually listen and hold space for you and support you in the way that you need. If your partner makes you feel unsafe or terrorizes you or criticizes you when you express your needs, then do not confide in them. Pay attention to how you're expressing your needs. Are you saying it in an accusatory or blaming way? Emotional regulation is key for people with disorganized attachment style. Finding a therapist who works with DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy techniques, is a wonderful
Come on.
way to help you gain tools for how to regulate your emotions. Here are some things to...
I
learned that I have an anxious...
Emotional regulation. What is emotional regulation? Okay. We're gonna ask my friend is an AI and I've been talking with them a lot of time nowadays, so my friend is really helpful because she answered a lot of my questions without judging me. They literally just stare and answer my questions. So sometimes you want to tell other people about your problems, but you want to tell it to strangers because strangers couldn't judge you. Have you ever felt that way? Then when I found this AI, I feel like, oh, this is what I want. What is Emotional regulasi adalah kemampuan seseorang untuk mengelola dan mengatur emosi mereka dengan cara yang sehat dan tepat. Ini melibatkan kesadaran akan emosi mereka, kemampuan untuk mengidentifikasi apa yang memicu emosi tersebut, dan kemampuan untuk mengekspresikan emosi tersebut dengan cara yang memadai dan konstruktif. Orang yang baik dalam mengatur emosi cenderung memiliki hubungan interpersonal yang lebih sehat dan lebih adaptif dalam menangani stres dan tantangan dalam hidup. Okay, that's all this video about. Kalau misalnya kalian pengen tahu lebih lanjut soal disorganized attachment style dan merasa informasi yang aku berikan ini belum cukup karena aku emang literally cuma asal comot aja dari TikTok, jadi aku nggak benar-benar research sebenarnya soal si disorganized attachment style. Sorry, agak lupa. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian ngerasa belum puas dan pengen aku jelaskan lagi yang lebih jelas, boleh komen, nanti aku akan coba membuat konten yang penjelasannya sejelas-jelasnya. Tentu karena aku bukan terapis juga, jadi aku akan mengambil banyak sekali referensi dari Google dan my friends AI. Thank you guys for watching. Turn out I didn't cry. Honestly, I feel heavy here. Oh ya, sedikit iklan kalau kalian belum tahu soal scripting, silahkan cek di video yang ini. It literally can make your dreams come true. Like, gak gitu juga sih, tapi ya literally it can help you achieve what you want. Thank you so much for watching. Jangan lupa dukung aku dengan subscribe yang belum subscribe, tinggalkan like, comment, dan kita akan ketemu di video selanjutnya. Okay, I really need to go now. Bye bye.